Okay, joining us now to discuss this ongoing war here, senior contributor for The Federalist, Ben Weingarten, and author of The Spirit of Constitutional Law, and Senate Chairman for the National Iranian Congress, Amir Fakhravar. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on. Amir, I'm going to start with you here. Look, I'm going to lay it out like this. Joe Biden lifted the sanctions on Iran. They got rich again, and then these attacks against Israel, they started happening now. And now it looks like we are almost at the precipice of a full-scale war between these two nations here. Do you put the onus on Joe Biden?
Thank you for having me. Let's start with that clearly. Biden's administration approach toward Iran, which is appeasement policy, is fundamentally misguided and disastrous. You know, we cannot consider Iranian regime as normal and rational or democratic government. This is a small group of fanatic mullahs guided by a terrorist group called IRGC, which they are just killing the Iranian people in street. And because of that, 98% of Iranian people, Iran has 100 million population, 98% of this population, they are against this regime, the small group of fanatic mullahs. How? In any calculation, Biden administration decided to support this regime instead of following President Trump's very amazing policy of destroying the regime, bankrupting the regime, killing Qasem Soleimani, which worked. And right now, Biden administration is going to negotiate with these fanatic mullahs to get what? Yeah, October 7th happened, and surprisingly, 2 days ago, Iranian appointed President Ebrahim Raisi in his speech said, he praised October 7th attack on Israel and said, this is the symbol of solidarity of Islamic countries. We are facing this type of animals. Why appeasing them?
Yeah, interesting point. I mean, Ben, you know, last I checked, or what I remember here in America, we don't negotiate with terrorists, but it seems like, I guess maybe now we do. And I'm wondering why. And this weekend, of course, marks 6 months since the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. And I want to say that again, Hamas attack on Israel. It's not the Israel war against. This administration, of course, has been increasingly criticizing Israel and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And as of yesterday, demanding an immediate ceasefire. But again, let's remember how this began. Terrorists attacked Israel. There was a ceasefire on October 6th. Why do you think the administration is suddenly not playing nice with our longtime allies?
Well, I think the truth of the matter is that it's a misnomer that the Biden administration was ever really on Israel's side. Despite the rhetoric that we saw right after October 7th, despite obviously the provision of munitions, this administration was supporting the effort to topple Benjamin Netanyahu's government last year when there was a near civil war over judiciary reforms in that country. And that set the conditions for, on top of the billions flowing to the mullahs' coffers, down to Hamas and others, for an October 7th. So why is this the posture of the administration? Why does it take a pro-terrorist position at the end? Part of it is, as has been discussed ad nauseum, the notion that you need these voters, tens or hundreds of thousands of voters in Michigan and Minnesota and other states to win. And the Biden administration is appeasing the progressive Democrat base that it needs to win in these battlegrounds. But then there's the fact that the whole policy has been to empower Iran and make it the strong horse, starting with the Obama administration and continuing into the Biden administration, because they say that Iran being the strong horse creates stability. And remember what the Obama administration policy was. Make Iran strong through a nuclear deal that protects a nuclear program and gives it tens of billions of dollars, and then also support the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and Islamist forces throughout the region. So make the Islamists strong and make Israel weak and imperiled. That was the policy. And the last thing is money. They thought that opening up Iran, that an Iran deal would open Iran to American business, energy companies, et cetera, and maybe the insane idea that, like with China, if we just have trade with them, that this evil, nefarious regime that's been at war with America since its founding would go away. That's the best argument you can make, but there's greed involved with this also. Businesses that wanted to get into an open Iran. That is the insane policy that we're living under now.
Wow. Amir, would you largely agree with that everything that has transpired between Iran, the Biden administration, and Israel, that they are really putting Israel in a tough spot here and jeopardizing their future, really, long term?
Oh, yeah, and not just that. They are considering Iranian regime, Biden administration considering Iranian regime as friend, and they are negotiating with them, sending them billions of dollars for what? And you know what? It's very interesting when a couple of days ago, Israel in attack with a small missile, shot it from the F-35, killed #2 commander of IRGC, a terrorist organization in Syria. And that worked. Regime all the time says, oh, I'm going for harsh retaliation, but it's just bluff. Benjamin Netanyahu amazingly called their bluff. President Trump amazingly called their bluff when he killed Qasem Soleimani. And regime today, all the mullahs, all over the country in Friday prayer events, they said, you know what? We are going, instead of retaliation, for the, let's say, be patient, more strategic patience. Come on. This regime just understand the language of force, nothing else. And I hope one day United States understand that, will help Israel to go and just destroy all IRGC bases inside Iran, not sending troops inside the country, just sending the missiles there. And the people of Iran will be very, very happy and celebrate it.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Although I think maybe we have 20 seconds, Ben. I think you had a quick question.
No, it's just this. It's not talked about enough as tens of thousands of Israelis have been displaced, refugees in their own homeland, located in the north because Hezbollah threatens from the north, and the Biden administration won't let Israel deal with that threat. While they talk about the Palestinian Arab refugees, there are refugees in Israel right now because of the Biden administration's policy.
All right, very well. Great wrap up there. Ben Weingarten, Amir Fakhravar, we really appreciate your joining us. Thank you.